Hey yo, it's November 5th, 2014. It's the day after the midterm elections. And there's a lot of people up in arms about the way the elections turned out. The Republicans have control of the House, they have control of the Senate, and they got a few states. They got Illinois for sure. Um, and a lot of people didn't go out and vote. Only 40% of registered voters in America went out to vote. And it came down to a lot of people saying, "Well, a lot of black people didn't go out and vote. That's why we lost." Hey, I can understand why a lot of black people didn't go vote. I went out and voted, okay, because I reserved the right to complain. So I went out and voted. But I can understand why they didn't go vote. If Republicans in office, you broke. If a Democrats in office, you broke. You got a choice between voting for a rich white Democrat or a rich white Republican. And to be honest with you, the politicians that we elect, they have much more in common with the heads of the other political party. What I mean is the Democrats that we elect have more in common with the Republicans that are elected than they ever have for people that are voting for them. Because it's more likely that, let's say, in Illinois, for the race for governor, it's a lot more likely that Bruce Rauner and Pat Quinn will bump into each other than Pat Quinn will ever bump into me. Okay? And regardless of who won the election, we fail to realize, hey, Pat Quinn's still rich. He may not be as rich as Rauner, but he's a lot richer than a lot of us, okay? So I'm not excusing the fact that a lot of black people didn't go out and vote, but I understand. Now time for me to go on my racist rant. See, I can say racist stuff about black people because I'm black. It's not really racist. It's deep. So you got all these black people on there. I went and voted and you didn't, and you're a bad person. They're going to cut your Section 8 and your food stamps, and wait till you see that. Number one, what you need to understand is 49% of Americans receive some form of direct government benefits. Okay, 49% of Americans. Okay, so that if they were to just cut benefits, it wouldn't just affect black people, it would affect everyone. And since such a high number of people are affected by government benefits, they're not going to cut food stamps. They're not going to cut link. Just shut the fuck up. This is just something that a lot of you want to be important as black people say to make yourselves feel better. You vote once a year and you do nothing else. You stay out of trouble. You keep your head down and you brown nose all year. That doesn't really make you that much better than the person who doesn't do anything. Because you cast one vote and this thing, oh, yeah, I'm cool for the year. Nah, I voted. Fuck that. Nah, it don't work like that. One thing I will give credit to are the black people during the civil rights movement. They was out there getting shot with water hoses and bit by Doberman pinchers and shit and German shepherds. We ain't really built for that nowadays. So you people that just cast a vote and don't do nothing else all year long, kill yourself fast, okay? Now, everyone's saying, oh, they're going to cut food stamps. All right, number one is called the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's not food stamps. So for those of you just saying food stamps, you're stupid, okay? Right now, as of 2010, 40.3 Americans received assistance from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, okay? Now, in a country with approximately 316 million people, that means that only 12% of America received supplemental nutrition assistance program help. Now, that's a relatively small percentage, but of that 40.3 million who received assistance, the highest group who received help were whites, and they received approximately 32% of that assistance, okay? So that means they received, let's say, somewhere around, let me do the math, about 12 million out of 40 million. This is math from 2010. Okay, so with such a high number of quote unquote white people receiving food stamps, they're not going to cut it, people. Save that lie. Okay, more white people are receiving food stamps than black people, and it's been that way for a while, and it probably always be that way. They talking about they're going to cut the Section 8 program. They ain't cutting Section 8. Shut up. Don't say that. That's stupid. I mean, it's harder to get on now. It'll probably be harder to get on in the future, but it's not going to be cut. Okay? There will be probably very little change in benefits. And everyone's, it's like everybody want to attack the other black person for not voting. You didn't vote, and this affects your food stamps and your Section 8. Man, okay, how can it? I mean, let's say it don't affect them. I mean, more tax dollars in your pocket. Since some of y'all complain so much about paying taxes, and I'll be honest with y'all, I probably paid more taxes in 1 year than a lot of people complain and make in 1 year. So you should just really say that, homie. But I'm sort of glad that the election went the way it went. We got settled into this vote Democrat stuff for too long. And I honestly don't think that the black vote was appreciated by the Democratic Party. So with black people actually not going out to vote in record numbers as they have in the past, I think it's putting pressure on the Democratic Party to say, hey, what can we do to earn this vote back? And maybe now they'll actually start doing something and coming around on occasions more than when it's just, election time. Maybe they actually get involved and see what's going on in the community. Because like I said, these politicians, they're disconnected. They do not live around us. They don't stay around us. I mean, and the whole purpose, I don't know how many of you have read the Federalist Papers before, but the reason for having these 2-year elections for the House and the elections for the Senate was that actually put it in a position where the politicians actually had to go back and earn the respect and trust of their constituents and prove that they were going to do their job and they're going to represent their interests. They actually spent more time in their home state than they did in DC, and that's not the case right now. It's at the point right now you can't even call most politicians and talk to them. You got to talk to the secretary of the secretary of the secretary of the assistant of the secretary before you can get to the politician. And if that's what I have to do to get my point across to a politician, man, I'm cool. I'll take my vote somewhere else. Although I was stupid, I did vote Democrat. I fought in the losing battle. But nah, just think about it.